And welcome back to the Press Star Podcast. I'm your host Vic, aka MrNeverChillin, and this is episode number 33. And of course, I'm joined by my co-host Lunatic Ablivion.
Hey guys, how you doing today? So what's new with you, Vic?
Not much, man. Just actually went to the farm show today and picked up a nice beer to check out, so it was pretty cool to check that out. But gaming wise, just doing a lot of Valorant. Of course, everybody knows that, and in the process of working on beating Halo Infinite and really
Mhm.
enjoying that campaign. It's leaving a lot of breadcrumbs, and it's just like, yo, what the hell's going on? There's a lot of mystery in that campaign, and I know you already beat it and stuff like that, and I hope it leads with a good ending. I'm really excited. But what about you, man? What you been playing lately?
So right now I've been playing a lot on the PS5. My wife likes to sit with me while we're playing through it, so I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. I've been playing some The Witcher, the original Witcher game for PC. And I've been playing a ton of Valorant, as the most you've already know. So been around doing a bunch of different games. I'm looking to hopefully play Nino Kuni here on the PS5 as well as finish Deathloop,
Right.
and that's another game I had started. So, but without further ado, let's start talking about the game releases of the month for this week. For PC, we're going to be dealing with Monster Hunter Rise comes out January 12th, and God of War. Finally, the port hits PC on January 14th. You interested in either of these games, Vic?
Not for PC, but probably for their respected platforms. Yes, I want to get God of War. Well, actually, I already said I already have God of War for PS4. So whenever I get the PS5, I want to check it out on that system because I know it'll enhance it and make it look better than the PS4 version. But
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Rise is to me a Switch title. I know that originally launched on the Switch, so I'd rather pick it up for the Switch. That just seems to me like a perfect title for the Switch. But what
Yeah.
about you?
It,
I know you played through God of War, but what about Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter Rise, I would also probably get it on Switch because that's where most of the players that are in my community are playing the game already. And I feel like it's just not enough people who are going to pick it up on PC to make it worth it. Would rather just play with the friends I already have on the console they're already playing it on.
Right. Yeah, this is
So
definitely just meant for people who don't have like a PlayStation or a Switch to check out these games. Like if they only game on the
it's
PC, this is perfect for to add
it's
to their collection.
yeah, it's pretty much where the industry is going at this point. We're looking at a lot of things heading towards PC because everyone's going to have one. We're entering the day and age where yes, everyone has a phone, but is everyone going to have a gaming PC? Yes, that's where we're heading. So, but talking about Nintendo Switch here, Nintendo Switch has a new game this week called Astroneer. Astroneer is a Minecraft sandbox style game, but with space exploration, different planets. It's kind of like a more fun, cute, colorful, and very artsy version of some of these other space exploration sandbox games.
Right. Yeah, this is actually still on Game Pass for Xbox, and this was a game that I added to my play later list. So it definitely piqued my interest. And again, this isn't going to be a game I check out on the Switch. If I already have it and want to play it on the Xbox, I think it'll fit better there, or play it on PC because it's I believe it's on Game Pass for the PC as well. So I have two better options than playing it on the Switch. Even though I've been playing the Switch a lot lately, and I actually forgot to mention that in what I've been playing. I picked up Pokemon Diamond, the remake, and been playing through that, and that's been fun to relive those memories because that was probably the last Pokemon game that I thoroughly remember playing through and having fun with. But
Mhm.
to say the least, though, with Astroneer, it looks like a pretty cool game. It has a very nice art style, and it's in that genre of social sandbox games that people can just jump in and have fun. So definitely check it out if
Yeah,
you haven't.
exactly. So, moving on here, we're kind of breaking down the show moving forward from here on out. So the next segment we're going to do now is the industry. So, talking about the industry, E3 this year, they have canceled the in-person event due to COVID concerns. But good news, the virtual event will still be going on for E3. What do you think about this, Vic?
It's just adding to the sad notion of what's happening to E3. E3 has just been slowly getting worse over the years, slowly becoming less of an event. Even though I thoroughly enjoy E3, that's where I get a bulk of my gaming news. Heck, that's where like Guardians of the Galaxy was announced. Like there's a lot of big announcements still that happen at E3, but something needs to change. People don't want to pay to host games at an event where they can just have their own event themselves,
Yeah,
which is what they've been doing
yeah.
over the past couple years due to COVID. So E3 is going to have to do something different to amp it up and give them reasons why. Obviously, Jeff Keighley with the Game Awards and his Summerfest of Games, he's doing something that makes people want to be on his show and whatnot. So E3 has to do something different. It's sad to hear that there's no in-person event. I want to go to an E3 event, but at this point, I don't even know if there's going to be ever an E3 in-person event ever again.
Well,
But
and that's the thing. E3 is a dinosaur at this point. We're talking about, the newest way to market your game is to leak it. So like if all year round we're just getting leaks, information, news, why even pay attention? Why even go to E3? Why even spend the money to attend? It's insane. The price per usefulness has dropped astronomically. So I really honestly it's just a truth that this is their way of maybe saving some money, honestly. They're not going to see a big return on E3 anymore.
yeah, I definitely don't think so. And it's just sad to see because E3 has always been one of those events that I looked forward to year after year. I would literally request off of work certain days, certain times, like, hey, I'm not available during this time because I want to watch this event. There's a lot of
Mhm.
big shit that I've got to watch over the last 10 years, even from E3, and I'm just like, it's sad to see, but E3 still
Yeah.
we'll definitely cover the virtual E3 like we did last year. We'll live stream it and whatnot and give our live reactions to that. So stay tuned. That'll be in June, I think. But yeah, moving on, man, to Xbox. Xbox got some pretty big announcements over the past week. We'll start off here with the Game Pass update. We got about 8 games coming to the Game Pass this month of January. We got Gorogoa, Olalija, The Pedestrian, Ember, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Outer Wilds is returning, Spelunky 2, and Anacrusis, which is a new game that came out. That is coming out. Do any of these games like make you like want Game Pass even more? I mean, you already have it, but does this add value?
Well, no, not really. Like to me, it makes me a little salty. Like I played Outer Wilds because I actually bought it on the Windows Game Store because that was the only way to get it originally. And it was so much fun. But like now people are going to be able to experience that
Hmm.
for free, be if
Right.
they have the Game Pass, it's already included.
Right.
So,
It was
Outer
actually on
Wilds
Game
is a
Pass
pretty cool.
before, and it left, and
Yeah.
now it's coming back, which is big because it's a super fun game,
Yeah.
super successful game, and it was a game that came out around the time that the Outer Worlds came out, and those two games were
Yeah.
getting mixed up a lot.
Yep. No, I agree. And so
But Mass Effect
uh,
Legendary Edition really surprises
yeah.
me to see that coming, and that's big because I was looking forward to playing that this year, and now I don't have to buy it. It's right here at
Yeah.
my hands for free. I already have
Yeah.
Game Pass Ultimate. I can download and play it and actually enjoy this game because, like I said, I've never played 1, 2, and 3 or Andromeda. I missed all the Mass Effect, the entire series, so it's like perfect timing. So it to me
Yeah.
it adds a
No,
lot of value.
exactly. No, I agree. And like so Spelunky 2 is another game out there that's kind of one of those indie titles. And then The Pedestrian, that's another indie title. So there are quite a few indie titles here coming to Game Pass, which kind of proves our point that Microsoft is the big flagship for indie because they're trying to compete with Steam at this point because now you don't have to sell your game.
Right.
Microsoft buys your game, you've got a good nice lump sum of cash and they'll take care of the Game Pass.
Right. And
So
another game on this list that's going to go under the radar, I think, is the Anacrusis. Because Anacrusis is
mhm.
one of those games that came out during one of the game events of last year, and I was like, this looks really cool. Like I really want to check this game out. It's a game being
Yeah.
developed by Stray Bombay. It's a one of those smaller developing companies, but it is a four-player cooperative first-person shooter set aboard a massive starship stranded at the edge of the explored space. So if that
Yeah.
doesn't sound interesting, I don't know what does, but
Well,
that seems like pretty cool.
the thing to keep in mind, this game is going to be early access. It's
Yeah.
not the full game, but it is one that we saw last year. We're highly anticipated. It's kind of one of those Left 4 Dead clones, but it's in outer space. You're going to be dealing with like, demons or aliens.
Hmm.
And it looks really fun. It's a very fun art style. It kind of reminds me of that Death Loop color and that
Right.
Death Loop aesthetic.
Yeah, it looks really pretty fun, and we'll actually tie this in at the end of our episode because we do got a surprise for everyone. But yeah, I definitely am looking forward to this game because it comes out on the 13th, early
Yeah.
access. But another big exciting announcement for Xbox is Ubisoft Plus, their subscription Game Pass like thing, is coming to Xbox as well. It was previously just on PC, so this is big. So they're bringing their entire catalog to Xbox. They haven't determined a price yet, but they're over 100 plus games, so that includes like uh, the Far Cry series, the Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six. And speaking of Rainbow Six, they're bringing Rainbow Six Siege and Rainbow Six Extraction, which comes out later this month, to Game Pass day one. That is huge, and it's going to be a game that I'm really looking forward to and checking out. Does this excite you? I know it excites me.
Well, for Rainbow Six Extraction, yes, I was super excited because this game to me, it kind of feels it could be hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Ubisoft game, but it's a Rainbow Six game. But we've had some bad Rainbow Six launches, but they've always seemed to turn them around lately with Rainbow Six. So I'm excited. Rainbow Six Extraction is going to be on Game Pass day one, so I'm going to play it.
Right.
I'm excited. It's a co-op game. I'm going to have fun playing it, hopefully. So
It's
I'm
another
I'm
win for
ready.
Xbox, honestly. Xbox keeps
Yeah.
getting these third-party games that release day one on their Game Pass service. Like it's just
Why
adding
even get
more.
a PlayStation?
Right. Until
Why even get
PlayStation rolls out their competitor to Game Pass, there's no reason to buy a PlayStation right now, other than Ratchet and Clank, and I guess
or
the
first
Ubisoft.
per just exclusive.
Right.
You're gonna get Ragnarok day one. Yes, that's cool. I'm excited, but maybe you might not. It might be coming to PC at the same time. So
Right. And at that point, like
there's
if you're a PC gamer, you can just get Game Pass Ultimate, and then just wait until you get the PlayStation PC ports. You're
yeah,
perfect. You don't even got to get either console if you really don't want to.
yeah, exactly. So sticking in the world of Xbox here, Xbox has announced a new collection of hardware. It is going to be controllers and in-game content based on nail polish. You want to kind of enlighten me what's going on here, Vic?
Yeah, so this one kind of came out of left field, and I was like, what is this? So they're teaming up with a company called OPI, like nail polish, and they have like 12 different colors like they have like a competition of like which one's gonna win and come out and stuff like that, and they all look really cool. They're all like those light pastel colors, not necessarily girly. And these ones came out, and I seen like the images of them. I was like, whoa, I need to add to my collection. Everybody knows I get all the controllers for the Xbox right now, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to figure out this. So I'm really excited. It's pretty cool that they're coming out. I guess you'll be able to like get these through certain retailers that do the makeup, like the nail polish, along with future ones as well. But at this point, we don't really have much information. This was just something that they recently announced that I wanted to cover because I'm a
So
huge controller fan.
just to give you guys an idea, right now, the first announced digital content for this is if you spend $20 on OPI products in the spring of 2022, this means somewhere around March. Sorry, way before March actually. So what happens is you'll get a Halo Infinite armor color that looks like glitter went off on Master Chief.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
went
bit
through a
goofy,
glitter
but
cannon.
hey, it's something for
But
everybody. But I do like the color
he's
that you give with the Forza car, though.
he's looking fabulous. That's all I'm saying, my
Yeah,
friend. He's looking
fabulous.
fabulous.
What about
But no.
the car for Forza, the paint job, how it fades from like one color back to a different color, and I really like that one from like the orange through the red back to the pink. It's pretty cool. I get it.
Yeah,
Throw it on one of
that's
my
pretty
cars I
cool.
have. But yeah, it's pretty cool that they're teaming up with a bunch of different companies and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. But Xbox, man, Xbox is doing really well. But moving on to the PlayStation world here, PlayStation got some big news this
Big
week.
competitor this week.
Eh,
Big competitor this week. So PlayStation announced the VR2. This is going to be a competitor to both Microsoft's, their augmented reality that they want to get to, but we're pretty far away in the Microsoft realm, but also to compete with Facebook and Oculus. We're looking at a targeted release end of this year, a mix of AAA and social games on PlayStation VR with 4K HDR OLED, 110 degree FOV, 90 to 120 hertz VR headset. This headset is going to deal with sensory feedback. It's going to do eye tracking. It's going to have haptic and adaptive controls, as well as the one drawback is it's going to have a single cord connected to the PS5 from your headset.
Yeah. So this is all big, man. Like this is really taking VR to the next level, the next generation
Yeah.
of this, and they're releasing the VR2 with new controller as well. It's called the Sense controller. So obviously it's based off of their new Sense controller that came with the PlayStation 5, where Roger alluded to it. It's going to have the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, but like with the whole headset sensory, apparently like it's going to be able to like vibrate or do like haptics on the head. That's going to be
hmm
something. It's just taking it to the next level and immersing you into the game even more, and this is really exciting. But they did announce one game when they did reveal this, and it's called Horizon Call of the Mountain. So it's part of the new game like Horizon Forbidden West that's coming out later. This is an exclusive PSVR2 game in the Horizon franchise. And when we talked about it a couple weeks ago, that they were looking to expand the Horizon franchise into other types of games, here's our first one. We're going to get a VR game based on that in that world, and the world already looks beautiful playing it on the PS5 on a TV. But this is going to be pretty cool to check out in the
Strap a
VR.
4K TV to your head
Yeah, you're gonna
now.
like.
You're strapping a 4K TV to your skull. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited. Honestly, I want to get the Quest 2 right now, but like this is a stiff competitor. I hope it
Mhm.
can be used on PC because if this VR headset is usable on the PC, the Quest has got competition coming and big competition. But what is the price point? That is
Right.
the real kicker for this year. So we'll see during the year. We'll update you with more progress on this. But moving on, another big competitor for Microsoft is now the Discord integration for PlayStation has been announced for the first half of 2022. This is huge.
Yeah.
Discord is the future of gaming communication, and it is now integrated within the PlayStation system itself. Is this a threat to Microsoft, do you think?
Yeah, I do think it's a threat to Microsoft because you remember all those months back that we were like, "Oh, Microsoft might buy out Discord," because they knew how important Discord was going to be to the gaming industry, and PlayStation, I guess, like they signed a better deal, and it sucks because like I feel like Discord should be a platform that is used on all platforms because Discord was a way to a lot of games are cross-play, so between Xbox and
Yeah.
PlayStation, people don't want to use the in-game chat because we all know that's garbage. We rather use Discord chat because it's actually pretty solid quality. Why not? Why? And now I'm not going to be able to use that pretty much. I mean, you are, but like PlayStation's going to have a more advantage, more user friendly and stuff like that, as opposed to
Yeah.
like with Xbox. Xbox has its way. Like you can get their new wireless headset that's garbage for when it's connected to the PC, but when you connect it to the Xbox and connect it to your phone at the same time, you join Discord on your phone and play the game on the Xbox, and boom, no issues.
I mean, this is too many steps.
Yeah,
That's the
no, no,
issue. We're
exactly.
looking
That's what
at
I'm saying. It's not
and
user
like
friendly.
we could do we could deal with playing with the Xbox Party system and connecting to people with PC and things like that. It'll work, but
Yeah,
it sucks. Whereas now you're playing with people cross console, you're playing on PlayStation and playing on PC. How do you talk to each other other than in-game chat? Discord is now here. You can join any chat. You've got multiple chats. You can share screen. It's just crazy
yeah,
that PlayStation has this now. And Microsoft, I think they must have underballed. They really probably offended Discord and they were like, we're done. Bye.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, definitely, no doubt. I just hope that they can come up with something later, maybe like a strategic alliance, which is words that they love to use in this
Yeah.
industry, where Discord will come onto Xbox in some way or form, whether it's the full application or at least the chat. Like even if it's just like a party chat system to allow you to connect into a party chat to play cross-play games. They have to do
Yeah.
something. Otherwise, there's going
I
to have to
agree.
be a competitor to Discord that comes out of nowhere and goes on the both platforms and says "fuck you both."
Yeah, unlikely to
Yeah.
be able to pull Discord's sway now. It's going to take a lot. But we should move on here. Let's move on from PlayStation to Amazon. So Amazon is known for being a big leader in the gaming industry. We're streaming on an Amazon platform right now. Amazon has now released their 9 free Prime games in January. We're looking at Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Total War Warhammer, the original, World War Z Aftermath, Fahrenheit, Indigo Prophecy Remastered, WRC 7 FIA World Rally Championship, Abandoned Ship, Paper Beast, and Two Point Hospital. Have you played any of these games, Vic?
Yeah, well, yeah. That first one, Star
Yeah,
Wars
yeah, yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order, one of the greatest Star Wars games of all time, and probably one of the like top 10 games in recent years, easily by
Hmm.
far. And apparently, like there's an Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2 is supposed to be announced this year. That is rumored, and I didn't really want to talk about it too much, but I want to put it out there. So I'm really excited for that. Um, I never really played any of the other ones. I do know about Two Point Hospital because I was looking at games for my girlfriend to play. She's a nurse and likes the medical field, and I was like, this could be a game that she enjoys.
It's a
'Cause-
giant meme. It's
right?
a
Yeah,
fun game.
yeah.
I love
It's
the
on. It's
Two
on. I
Point
think it's
is
on
a
Game Pass if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah.
I like Two Point Hospital is a big known game. WRC is a racing game. It's a rally game, so it's fun.
Yep.
World War Z has been a really popular game recently. So like this is a solid list of 8 games. I'm not too sure on a couple of the other ones, like 3 of them, but I know Total War Warhammer was a big game too. So like,
Yeah.
this is a big win for Amazon. It's like I was like, man, do I get Amazon Prime just to get these free games for my PC? Probably
No.
not, but I was just like, it made me
I
have
mean,
that thought.
there are tons of other benefits to Amazon Prime, but like the fact that if you have Prime, you get free games now. Just like that
And
that's great.
these are
If you
better
don't
than
have
the free games that you get with Xbox Gold.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're better than PlayStation games half the time too. No, Amazon Prime has been really competitive lately. They're just throwing money at their consumers who have Prime. So I'll be honest. 2 Point, fun game. Total War Warhammer, fun game. I've only heard good things from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. If you have Amazon Prime, don't miss your chance. The games are free. You get them, they're permanent. You own them as long as Amazon Prime has a gaming service.
What's up, Subi Flow? Thanks for coming through, Doc. Appreciate you.
So, moving
Subi,
on here.
hold on, I gotta get a shout out. Subi E flows. Oh man, I know he's over there cracking up right now. But yeah, moving on now to another one in the industry, Samsung. We all know how big Samsung's been trying to get into the gaming industry, and they had a couple big announcements. First off, here they have a gaming hub that's coming out, and it's going to be supported by like Google and Nvidia, and it's coming to basically all their future Samsung TVs. They may be able to add it later to older ones, but without an extra dongle. This is what Xbox is I think was trying to work towards, but with like a dongle or something to be able to play Game
Yeah.
Pass
And
on the
and
TVs, and this
and
is beat
and
them to it.
and not only that, this connects to your Nvidia graphics card and allows you to stream your games straight to your TV. So
Hmm.
now you've got a 4K TV on the other side of the room that your PC's not connected to. Boom, it's on the TV now.
Yeah, that's
It's the
incredible.
same thing that you're dealing with Discord remote play, but without having another computer. This is huge, you know, if you're already buying Samsung TVs, it only gives you an added benefit to stick with Samsung. We talked about this before. We talked about it, I think, about 3 or 4 months ago when they first announced it. This is this is pretty big.
Hmm.
I'm excited to see where it goes, but it's a huge slap in the face to AMD, in my opinion. They've missed it here. I've been a Nvidia fanboy, but you know, this is awesome for somebody who likes Nvidia like myself. I
Right.
only get free benefits from owning Nvidia and liking Samsung TVs. And not only that, Samsung has announced the first 240 hertz gaming monitor, I believe. It is the
By
first
4K, 4K.
4K
Yep.
200 hertz gaming monitor. It is 32 inch. It's got a quantum mini LED screen and it's got 2000 nits of brightness as well as HDR. So this is big. Samsung is dropping huge products for the monitor and the TV industry right now
Hmm.
that honestly I'm excited to see what the other competitors are going to have to do to keep up.
Right. Yeah, the CES 2022 was just the other day, and there was a lot of products announced that we're not even covering today, and I was just like, yo, like the future is here. The
Yeah.
future is definitely here, and we're anybody who's in any of the entertainment, whether it's gaming, movies, TV shows, any of that kind of stuff, we got a lot to look forward to over the next couple of years, for sure. I'm really excited for the
No,
content.
I agree.
And moving on to something that was announced at CES 2022 was Nvidia graphics cards. They announced 2 new ones that are coming out, even though we're in a chip shortage. The GeForce RTX 3050 and the GeForce RTX 3090 Ti, or apparently it's called pronounced Ti, that we all learned the other day. The 3050 is more of like an entry card apparently because it's coming in at like 250 price range, but the 3090 Ti is like the big beast, their best, one of their best cards. Do either of these like pique your interest, or you want to try and snag one of these if you can?
3050 isn't going to compete as well against my 2070 Super right now, I think. It is meant to be a budget consumer card, you know, at $249. It's meant for people who are like, I don't own a graphics card. I need one. Here you go. It's going to be the consumer model. You know, we thought the 3060 was going to be cheap. The 3050 is going to be there for the consumers now. That is the new card. And the 3090 Ti is going to be very powerful. It's going to be a huge card. And I think it's going to tie us over until we see the 40 series, which will probably be in a year's time.
Right, and that 3090 card is roughly about $1,500 to put it in a perspective on price. So and then
That shit
imagine,
will run a fucking space station for a
right,
year,
Im-
for 2 years.
imagine the price though, because we all know the scalpers are going to scoop those up. They're going to pick it up, and then resell them shits for thousands of dollars. Like it's going to be
If they get
disgusting.
them. If they get them, that's the thing.
I hope they do.
So, I really honestly hope that the people who want them can get to them. But moving on here, Alienware, Dell's company, as we all know, has launched a new concept, Nix. It is a PC with a Switch-like controller. It performs as a server in your own home to stream games to almost any device. You want to give us a little more information about this, Vic?
I don't know if there is much more than this. Honestly, this was sent over to one of our good friends, Perm or Anthony. He came on the show last year, and he sent this to me because I was just like, okay. This was also announced at CES
Yeah.
2022, and it legit looks like when you add the Joy Cons to that like controller that comes with the Switch,
Yes.
the thing that's really what it kind of looks like, just a little bit more high quality, and it apparently can do what you just read off. It performs as a server in your home, and it can stream games to almost any device. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
yo, that's crazy. Like that's the future. That's what I'm talking about. Where we're in for some good devices for media that's coming out soon
The
for their
next
gaming.
it's the next stage in mobile gaming, really. Honestly, we've been there with the laptops. They're frying pans on your laps. Well, you get a gaming desktop for a reason because it can't handle it. But now if we're looking at a new system that's, like the size of a Switch and allows you to play games anywhere and it plays computer-like games, that's awesome. Alienware has always been on the cutting edge for gaming until they were purchased by Dell.
Right.
And honestly, maybe this is their way back.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully. Yeah.
we'll only see
Right. That'll be something we follow over the next few months or year, however long this comes. Because
years.
this
It'll probably be a few
this
years.
is in concept, so this is something that they're not putting out to the.
There's not even a prototype. So moving on here, this week we have a few rumors from big name titles. So we've got a rumor out of Nintendo, supposedly, that Mario Kart 9 is in development and it will include a new twist. Something that we've always seen with Mario Kart over the past years is every few games we've got a new addition, something that changes the formula, whether it be
Mhm.
anti-gravity, where we can stick to the course, go upside down, do loop-de-loops and spin.
Mhm.
Now we're looking, we've looked at, double dash, things like that. What are they going to add next? So I'm excited. Maybe it'll bring me back to playing Mario Kart. Maybe it'll make Mario Kart a more competitive racing game. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the new twist is. Like, I don't think they've ever done this yet, but I actually just thought of it now. Was what if they did like procedurally generated tracks of some sort? I don't know if it's possible, but that would be a hell
I
of a
don't
twist.
know.
Like, you would never play the same race over. But like that would be like a certain mode that you can hop into. Obviously, it would have like the basic maps that most Mario Kart comes with. But I think that'd be a pretty cool feature. What do you think? Not your thing?
Honestly, not my thing. I'm more of a traditional player where, the maps are the maps. You
Hmm.
learn to play on the maps you're playing on, you know. Um I'm interested to see what the new twist is, but honestly, I'm kind of worried that they're gonna go gimmicky, which
Right.
Nintendo is known to do at times. So, moving on to another Japanese company here. Persona 6 has been leaked or has been rumored to be in early stages of development, so hopefully we'll see a new Persona game here soon, and maybe it'll be a PlayStation exclusive yet again until we move a little further down the road. Is this something you'd be interested in, Vic? I know you're not a man who plays very many RPGs, but is this the game you'd like to play?
No, not really. I do know, just being in the gaming industry, how big Persona is. Persona is a really big game, both here in America, along with obviously over in like the Japanese market, Chinese market, and stuff like that. So Persona 6 to be announced that it's in early development, that's huge. Persona is going to be a big selling game. This would be a game that could help win Xbox over in that market because how big Persona is. Persona, if it could get onto Xbox and if they could get it on Game Pass launching day
The
one.
likelihood is so low because Atlas is going to try to stick with PlayStation
Hmm.
because that's what Atlas does.
Right.
So honestly, for me, my point would be this is the way the PlayStation continues to hold its market share.
Right.
These exclusives that we're waiting for. If it doesn't hit PC for a year, 2 years, this is why I bought myself a PlayStation 4. It is the reason I bought a PS5. I want the exclusives right away because they're so good.
Right.
And honestly, I'm excited. Persona 6.
Yeah.
But
So that'll be something we
let's
follow
talk.
to see which one actually comes.
Yeah,
Which one of
exactly.
those events happen where it comes to Xbox and Game Pass, or this is going to be a reason why PlayStation continues their success.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that develops.
and maybe it comes to PC because that's what PlayStation wants to do soon.
Right.
So moving here, back onto the West, Bully 2, Rockstar RPG, was supposedly rumored to have been in production but now shelved. So, what are your thoughts, Vic? Is this why we hate Rockstar right now?
Yeah, this is another reason why we hate Rockstar. Like, we all want something new from Rockstar, and Rockstar was like, "All right, we'll create something new. Never mind."
You know,
and then let's go waste money on GTA Trilogy Remastered. Like,
yeah,
they should have just came out with Bully 2. Bully 2 would have been a billion times more successful than the remastered trilogy by far.
exactly.
And I
They're
just don't
trying
get
to
it.
take control of nostalgia, and the community is creating better nostalgia games than they can even get close to. Literally, people are making AAA versions of the remaster that theirs looks like a cheap fan-made copy.
Yeah.
So honestly, I agree. Rockstar is fucked up yet again. To find out that Bully 2 was in production, such an amazing game,
Yeah,
got shelved.
it's a cult classic. Like, any gamer, any person who's ever played games knows the game Bully. Bully was such
Yeah,
a popular game back in the
it's
day that
it,
it was such a stupid, weird, fun
it's
game
like,
to play.
well, not only that, we had Bully, we had GTA, and we had Midnight Club. They were all Rockstar games, and they were all gems. They were all awesome.
Hmm.
And for them to say, well, let's try to ride the nostalgia. Let's remake it instead of actually remake these games instead of actually making something new. Who would have thought that, maybe the community wants something new, something better.
Maybe they'll eventually
So,
get it, but at this point,
yeah,
I don't think so anytime soon.
yeah. So, moving on here to another Asian studio, Elden Ring. The developers of Elden Ring supposedly in a rumor felt pressured by the staff creating the Demon Soul remake. You want to give us a little more information about what went on here, Vic?
Yeah, so when Demon Souls remake was announced, um, and it was displayed to the world, they were like, "Shit, this game looks beautiful," and you remade our game and made it look a billion times better. Now we're working on Elden Ring, and at first, I guess it didn't look up to par or
Yeah,
that next level, that next generation of these games, Souls-like games. So they had to go back to the drawing board and push their limits. And here we are. We're getting a
exactly.
really solid, really beautiful looking Elden Ring game that comes out
And
next
that's the
month.
thing. And that's the thing. I think maybe we saw a shelving of Bully 2 because they were like, well, we fucked up the GTA trilogy, so like
Let's
let's
not do
you
Bully
know
2 because we might fuck this up
let's-
too.
we might fuck this up even worse. So no, I'm with you. This is the thing. I'm glad that From Software looked at, the remake of Demon Souls and went, whoa, 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 wait. We're about to release the next big title in our catalog. Like, we are known for amazing games, and this game looks worse than a remake.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it wouldn't have flied like
yeah,
at all. Not in the community that we are in right now that are just nitpicking and will slander your game until it ceases to exist.
yeah, exactly. And
Definitely agree here with Lunatic Yoshi here. Speaking of nostalgia, Warcraft 3 Reforged has a very exciting fan made one. Right,
yeah,
exactly. Even Blizzard couldn't even get that one right. Nobody, I
you
don't
know,
think anybody wanted the
why
remake of that game.
why is it that fans are doing a better job than the developers who made the game? It's because passion. These developers don't care anymore. These companies don't care about their games. All they want is your money. It's no longer about passion. We're looking at players who are out here, they're passionate about the game. They want the game to be better. So of they make a better game.
Right.
So it just goes to show the industry, reasons why success is happening. The Arcane TV show from League of Legends was a success because the studio that designed it was owned by the people doing the work. It wasn't owned by profit shares. It wasn't owned by stocks. It's owned by the artists who are actually making the content. They're making something they want to be proud of, not something that's going to make $100,000 and make them a laughing stock.
Right. And I'm really glad that From Software actually cares about their games and was like, okay, we're not doing good enough. Without even
Hold up, let's
we
fix
didn't even
this.
see the game yet, and they were like, "Yeah, we're not doing good enough. We can't put this game out yet because this game looks better than ours right now. Let's polish this thing. Let's make it look better, and then we'll show you it." That's why it took forever. Now it makes sense why it took forever for
Yeah,
us to see this
why
game.
we
Period.
and we've also been delayed, right? So
Yes.
Elden Ring has been delayed. It took forever. It took until November of last year for us
Hmm.
to see a trailer. So yeah, I'm happy that they took longer to work on it. It's something that these developers are like, well, we don't want to, we're tired of disappointing the fans. Well, my disappointment is more immeasurable if you ruin the game by rushing it.
Right. And we all know rushing games is not the answer because moving on to our next topic here, in our gaming news of the week, Cyberpunk 2077. It is finally getting a big patch that's coming out. Um, it's patch 1.5, their next generation update. And apparently they're calling it a soft relaunch and they're renaming the game to Cyberpunk 2077, the Samurai
Well,
Edition.
they're releasing a new edition of the
Right.
game with the DLC, and it's called Cyberpunk 2077 Samurai Edition. So, the Cyberpunk is also going to come with an anime and the first expansion, both of which will be revealed during the event in February that they plan to have. We're going to see things like barbershops, garage, improved AI, a transmog system, complete rebalancing the loot system, and a whole new UI. Because let's be honest, this game needs a lot more. The game feels very bare bones, and so we're going to get a free DLC that's going to include new weapons, new game plus, apartment customizations, and new gigs. So honestly, it feels like they're doing it as a service. It's going to be more of a platform now, which is awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited to see more development go into the game. And we're going to be returning to Pacifica in the next expansion, in the first expansion. We'll be walking around doing quests in the combat zone, which honestly, Pacifica is one of those zones in the game that felt really empty. It
Right. It
was
felt barren,
huge,
yeah.
but there was nothing really there. You went and rode a roller coaster and you dealt with some gang lords, but that was about it. And then you left. There's
Right.
so much in Pacifica that could have been explored that was just completely avoided.
Right.
So,
And this will be an expanded Pacifica too. So
yeah,
what we saw in the main game is not what we're getting, like an updated version of that. So they reworked Pacifica and added a lot more content and made this the first expansion because this, like Roger said, the combat zone is actually being fought over by two gangs that have like obviously different beliefs and stuff like that. So my
that was
guess,
explored in the game too, but
right,
we didn't explore it.
right.
You know what I
And
mean?
now you will, and it'll be pretty cool. Like my guess is you'll have the option to choose which side that you wanna go with, or neither, and just blow them both up. I don't know how it's gonna go. That'd be pretty cool. So it apparently like walking around in the combat zone now will make you feel like you're playing the game Stalker, which we know Stalker 2 is coming out later this year in April. So it has that creepy like really eerie kind of feeling when you're walking around. So you don't know what the hell's gonna happen.
It's
Maybe some shit can pop
you know
up. I don't know.
it's
It'd be
going to
pretty
be an
cool.
abandoned place.
Yep.
You're going through this city that's an actual war zone. It's going to be abandoned. People aren't going to be walking the streets. There's turf wars going on. And this game, a CD Projekt Red game at this point was never complete without a card game. So now we're going to get a new Gwent style mini game. We're going to deal with a new like mini game built into the game. One of the best reasons everyone loved Witcher 3
Mhm.
was because they added mini game, like a mini game that made people, you went to places and talked to these people just so you could get extra cards. Well, now we're going to see that in Cyberpunk. There's going to be a new card game for the people who like those kind of things. And honestly, that makes me excited. It makes me want to play a new game plus and then deal with this DLC in Pacifica and play some fucking cards. Okay. I
Right.
loved Gwent.
Right. Yeah, I think they're doing all the right things here, and I couldn't ask for anything better. Like they're really just reworking the game, adding content, and it's really incredible to see the customization that we're really getting. Like the barbershops, like you can go to the barbershop now and cut your hair. You could take your cars to the garage and repaint them, redo them, whatever. The updated improved AI is going to be beneficial because we all know the AIs were kind of like clunky in a way. Like they didn't really seem interactable. Like the shit that you really didn't really matter. So I hope this means like if I shoot somebody on the street, they actually react to it or something like that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then of course the new UI, like the new whenever you get like a refresh to an UI, whether a game's successful or not, it's always refreshing. It makes it feel like okay, cool. I
Yeah.
can navigate better. I can get to this. All right, cool. And it's something new to learn. And the new expansion I'm really excited for. So it'll
Yeah.
definitely be something we follow. But I
And
guess it also
and in,
announced.
and
Yeah,
in
go ahead.
addition, as sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but we're also hearing now, as a rumor, that the second expansion is already in development as well. So we're not only getting the first expansion for Cyberpunk finally after a year, we're gonna see news on maybe the second one too. So I'm excited. Maybe I'll go back to the game again after I just beat it 2 weeks ago. So
Hmm.
we'll see.
This will be the reason why I actually go back to the game and play it and beat
Yeah,
it for the first time. So I'm, because you already know,
exactly.
I've been holding out for the next generation update because I want to play it at its full fidelity on my Series X. This was
Yeah,
again
me too.
why I wanted like to see next generation. Like it already looked good with the old gen version on the next gen console, but
Well, and this game was the reason why I upgraded my PC a year ago. I wanted to be able to play Cyberpunk at what it was supposed to be played, and I upgraded my PC and the game felt good.
yeah.
Honestly, the game felt more clunky when I upped the fidelity and the game became smoother. It felt more clunky, weirdly enough. So I'm excited for the new AI improvements because they were dumb as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on here to another game's DLC, Far Cry 6 has announced that their first DLC is called Control. You'll dive into a twisted mind of a pagan man,
Pagan Min. He
Min.
was he was
Sorry.
the villain from Far Cry
Oh,
4.
oh, oh, oh. Sorry.
Yep. So like
Yeah.
you get to play from like the first person perspective. Like you're playing like within their mind because they're dealing with like a mental health issue. And their
So
DLCs are coming out, you're playing as all the villains over the course of their DLCs. So you get to play through their corrupted mind and what they see. Like this is going to be a really
yeah.
like weird,
So
fucked up game.
it gives you an insight into the world that is their life, why they are the way they are, why they're sick, why they're twisted. And fun fact, this DLC comes out on the 11th,
Yeah, this week.
which is Tuesday. So, if you liked Far Cry 6 and you want to revisit the game, now's your chance. Or if you never played Far Cry 6 and maybe you want a little expansion on the actual story itself to make the game better, this may be your chance. On Tuesday, the new DLC drops. So,
I actually might check it out, honestly, because I remember when they
mhm.
first announced this like a long time ago, like when the game was first revealed, they were like, "Yeah, we got this DLC come out. You play as like some of the villains from all the old games."
Yeah,
So I was just like, "That's a very interesting take on a game." Like, when do you get the chance to play as the villain and what they see and what they live and like what they experience at their mind? And especially
yeah.
in a game of Far Cry, like all their villains in Far Cry, all the Far Cry games are really fucked up, weird. You're like, "What the hell? What was going through their mind?" Well, guess what? Now you're gonna
Now
know.
you know. Because like I played Far Cry 3 and you like deal with the villain, you're like, wow, this guy's really fucked up. What the fuck is wrong with him? And I'd like to know how he got to be the way he is. So this is pretty cool. But moving on to another game in the industry, one that we hoped would be better than it was, Battlefield 2042. They got a new narrative director who plans to really fix the franchise. Do you believe it? I don't.
Not at this point. I mean, you got to give me a
Yeah.
reason why, to believe this. But I mean, I'm a very optimistic guy, so I want Battlefield 2042 to have that redemption arc where it comes back and becomes this great game that it got hyped up to be. But at this point, I
Honestly,
don't see
yeah.
it. It's going to take
I
a lot
want
for it.
Battlefield. I want Battlefield to be a better game because I want Call of Duty to be a better game, and because Battlefield blew it, Call of Duty can get away with it.
Right. Well, Call of Duty's going down the drain right now too, and it's burning, and it's just like, oh shit, we're on fire. We suck. Like it's right
That's
now.
t-
It's actually so bad right now. This isn't even on our itinerary, but we're talking about it. It's so bad that Raven Software is considering bringing back Verdansk for Warzone because they understand how terrible Caldera is for the community, and nobody likes
yeah,
that new map. Or like adding a playlist, like you'll be able to choose which map you're able to play
yeah.
on. Like that's cool. It makes sense, but it's just like they're backtracking on shit that they said. Oh, you'll never be able to play on this map. We did this event, so you're not gonna be able to play on this map again. Like they made it known that you're never gonna be able to play on Verdansk.
Replay.
Yes, psych. We're bringing it back for you.
Rewind. Yeah. So, moving on here. Kojima announced that Death Stranding's director cut is coming to PC. It will be out spring 2022, and you'll be able to buy it on Steam and the Epic Games Store. Do you want to play Death Stranding, Vic?
I've always wanted to check it out because it had this like curiosity, like what is going on in this game, like what is this
Yeah.
game, like even from the very first announcement, like all right, Death Stranding's coming out, like what is it? What do you do?
Yeah.
Like I still don't know what you do in that
Yeah,
game.
like
I
you're
know
like
the I
looking
know
at
the
a fetus and you're like, okay, cool. It's a weird baby fetus. What do I need to do with it?
yeah.
I don't know and never know. I've never played the game and I don't think I will. Honestly, bringing Death Stranding to PC isn't going to help me at all. If I
Yeah,
wanted
it's
to play it, I would have played it. I had a PS4 and I was like, yeah, I'm still going to look past this game.
right. So I mean maybe, but it's not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm so excited because I still want to maybe get it on PlayStation whenever I get the
Yeah.
P5 this year.
I'm with you there. And so, last but not least, our favorite game right now, Valorant. So, Valorant, the season ends this week. We've got some big announcements for the next season. So, we're going to see a new agent finally. Maybe this agent's going to mix up the meta. Maybe this agent is just going to be as cancer as the last. Maybe this agent is just a Jet clone, but we'll see. The new agent is named Neon. They are going to have Sprint as their iconic ability. They just start sprinting. It's ready. It's all the time. Go. Zoom, zoom. You
Well,
move really fast.
what's an ability that like drains down the longer you
Yeah.
use it.
But what I'm getting at is you're able to sprint. Like full on sprint, not knife out, go. And as soon as you're done sprinting, your gun's out.
Okay.
Faster than the jet dash, too. So jet dash is known for dashing and shooting and stuff. Your gun comes out faster from ending a sprint. Like I've seen her
Hmm.
outrun a Yoru.
Yeah.
Yoru in his alt runs slower than
Than she
she
does.
does in her sprint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying with this, it's gonna be interesting. But not only that, her next ability is a stun grenade. We're dealing with the ability to throw a grenade that's going to incapacitate people, similar to a breach charge or a cipher wire that explodes. Um, and then we're gonna be dealing with a better wall, in my opinion, than the Phoenix wall.
Right.
She has a wall that literally she throws up two walls on the left and right of her that allows her team to just walk straight into sight. You can't see through it. You walk through it, you take damage. It's big. It's a
Yeah.
big change, and it
This
is
on like with her being a duelist, like this
yeah.
is why she's a duelist. She can stun corners. She throws up the wall, gets you on the site. Like this person really sets your team up to get on the site and get kills. I'm quick. I'm maneuvering. I'm stunning. I'm helping my team out. This character could really shake up the meta
This
in a matter
is
of time.
this is an initiator if I've ever seen one. But they call her a duelist.
Yeah.
Of course she is. So, in addition to her ability to sprint, throw stun grenades, and the wall, she also have the ability to slide. So not only that, she comes out of the sprint, you can slide and just start gatting people and shooting your gun sideways at kids.
Hmm.
This is crazy. And to finish it all off, the piece de resistance is her ult. Her ultimate is literally finger guns. She pulls out a finger gun and starts shooting laser beams from her fucking hands.
Yeah, I think it's pretty insane, and I'm really curious to see how
Zappy
she plays
fingers.
out. Zappy fingers,
Magic
exactly.
hands. All I'm
Right.
saying is magic
And
hands.
I posted that video in our in Lunacy Arts Gaming Discord, and they were already showing the meta like on Breeze,
Yeah.
like they threw up the wall with Sage, and like he jumped off of it off the wall, slid down this hill, and this was just it was insane. I was just like, I'm not ready to dive like that.
They used dash into wall mechanics that we saw on jet dashes because jet dash still does that. You can have
Hmm.
jet dashes where people updraft and dash, and they can hit a wall in a certain way that actually just
Like
increases
boosts
their
it,
momentum
yeah.
4 times his amount. Well, she has the ability to do the same thing that Riot may or may not have taken into effect. So this person literally can gun halfway through the center of Breeze in half a second,
Yeah.
slide, and still have near perfect accuracy. This is crazy. This champion looks like it's going to be cancer incarnate, and
Yeah.
I'm not excited about it, but I'm hoping that we're gonna feel the same treatment. Maybe it'll shake up the meta finally, and we won't deal with Jet every game. Jet, 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 Jet.
Jet and Reyna. Jet and
Hopefully,
Reyna.
this
Jet and Reyna.
person will be able to remove Jet from her place. So in addition to the new agent, we're looking at updates to some old maps and guns. Breeze is going to have a new change here, in addition to Bind. So I'll let you cover Breeze and I'll cover Bind.
Hmm.
Bind, when you're approaching Bind on A site now from A main, you are going to see that the box was 2 boxes high, is now in fact 2 boxes long, meaning that you're more easily seen. One way, you can't really create a smoke one way anymore because you can't see their feet because the smoke would end up below the ground.
Right.
So this is actually a really big change, and I don't know if you can see over the box or not. I don't believe you can, so this will be a definitely a more interesting change
Right.
for the meta. And
Yeah.
in addition to that, we have changes to Breeze. Vic, what are those changes?
Yeah, so when you're approaching like a site from the cave, they added like a double stack box when you're taking the long way around instead of the short path. So it adds a little bit of extra cover. So instead of like peeking out like immediately as soon as you get to that corner, at least you have a little bit more cover and a little bit more coverage. And then speaking about on the defender side of this part of it, where there it was like we called it Tetris, like stacked boxes and stuff. They
Yep.
kind of removed some of them and they added this big ass yellow container, like shipping container, similar to the one on Icebox. So it adds a little bit more coverage and like more playability to defend that map. There weren't really places to hide on that map, and I think this will really help. I'm kind of worried though about the head glitching situation because you can hop on the little box onto the big box and head glitch the yellow container. So I'm a little bit worried about that. And then they removed the box in the right. So if you're coming on the A site, the boxes in that corner that you could hide behind, they were completely removed them. So you can stand in that corner, you're going to be able to get seen now. So it's no longer a hiding spot. Then over on B, they added some boxes right along that main pillar in the middle where the plant site is, along with adding a big wall along the back site. So it adds a little bit more of a defensive position for defending. And then what else did they do? They added like another stacked boxes. Oh yes, next to that other broken wall towards mid, they added like a double stacked boxes for more coverage. It just adding overall just really well balanced changes to this
Makes
map.
Breeze feel like less of a wide open chamber of death and more or less a dueling map. It is a map now that has its place amongst the meta where, you don't have to run out into the open, get shot by an op, and then cry a little bit because you don't know what side the op's on until it's too late.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited to see the overhaul to Breeze because this is huge in my opinion. This is a lot of changes. This is honestly, this makes the sites more approachable at times, without them being so kind of sparse with terrain.
Right. Yeah, I think this is the right changes, and I'm really excited to see these. But some other changes that are happening on with the next season, for ranked play, instead of playing 10 matches, you'll have to be at least level 20 for your account. So I think this will help out with like the smurfing and stuff like that, because you could play through 10 games really quick and only be like what level 5 or something really little. So now playing 20
Yeah,
will help with that, mitigate that a little bit. But I know ultimately there's going to be people that buy accounts and do the workaround, but you're going to have to do it
it's
a little bit harder.
it's definitely something that I saw coming, but was worried that it took so long. Why did we initiate these account levels if we're not going to use them? Finally, we're going to see a use for your account level. I'm only level 60. So, the fact that like a level 20, it requires level 20 to play is big.
Yeah.
Now, I'm hoping there was no word from what I can tell that players who aren't level 20 yet, who did meet those 10 games and has already started playing ranked, whether or not they'll be able to continue playing ranked.
Right.
So, I'm not sure if this is new accounts, old accounts, all accounts, what. But in addition to this new level 20 requirement, the Ares and Guardian will see buffs. The Ares no longer has a wind-up period, meaning the bullets no longer take time for them to it
Immediately.
it's going. You pull the trigger, the gun is ready and hot. You're good.
Yeah.
So this is a huge buff for a gun that many of my community love.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Um, a
Oscillator.
kill, a Kilth will be the dumbest player on my team now because he's already dumb with that fucking Ares. He's only going to be dumber now, and I
Right.
love it. I'm
Imme-
I'm I'm excited to see these guns that were always like, well, this is garbage. Who would fucking use this? I hate
right.
the Ares
I
because
love
of the
it.
windup. Maybe I'll like it now.
Right.
Maybe I'll like the Ares because it's now like it's ready to go. You're like, are you ready to go? And the Ares is like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, and I think it just helps because I love playing with Ares. Me and Dom here, we play with Ares all the time, and we murder kids with this gun. And now no, we don't have to worry about the windup. I think this helps put it on par or at least comparable to when you have to save or like lighter buy and you can't buy a Vandal or a Phantom. This gun still is competitive against those at a higher capacity because it was already to me competitive with those guns, but now it takes it to the next level. But in regards to the Guardian buff, I think it would increase the inbound sight a little bit quicker. I think that was like the
Yeah,
only
they
buff they
reduce
did.
ADS.
Yeah.
ADS has been reduced on the Guardians, so now instead of taking a little bit to bring it up, you can out snipe an op even easier now because if they're not scoped in, you're gonna scope in quicker. all you have to do is tap them and it starts, and you're gonna feel the change. So this is a pretty cool. The Spectre is going to see a large nerf. Vic,
Mhm.
do you know what that nerf is?
Yeah, it's for the range of the gun. It's going to limit the range of the damage and stuff like that. And I think it's huge because we seen it the other night when I was on Icebox and I hit that long shot with the Spectre and I had to go do 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 do. Like it was still like pretty crazy, but like they're going to make that damage fall off even more than
Yeah,
what it
you're
was
gonna
there.
you're gonna be shooting pretty much Nerf bullets at that point.
Yeah.
You're not actually shooting real bullets because let's be honest, submachine guns, they should have a fall off. Typically, submachine guns aren't that powerful. So, this is kind of a good buff in my opinion because the Spectre feels like a dirty gun. It
Hmm.
always felt dirty. People are like, "Oh, I hate the SMGs," and I'm over here like, "I love the Spectre, man. I
Yeah,
just
the Spectres
pull the
was the
trigger,
gun that
people
I got
die."
my first ace with.
Yeah,
I-
it's huge, and I'm glad to see the fall off. But in addition to these gun changes, we're going to see a new skin pack, and this new bundle is actually kind of controversial so far because this bundle is called the Protocol 781A, which is the way to spice it up. Whenever you kill somebody, their body goes flying. Well, that's a problem. That's actually a huge problem because if the body doesn't fall where they've died and it gets thrown, that actually impedes people like Sage. It is going to mess with the Sage because now you have to go get the body. It's harder to watch the body, things like that.
Mhm.
Where if you're killing somebody and their body's getting thrown, that's going to be an issue. So,
And
Valorant Riot hasn't addressed this yet, to my knowledge, but the skin bundle has
and
it's
and my
it,
thinking
it's
in
it's it is both useful and not useful, and
right.
brings us to the point: are we going to see people buying this bundle for the ability of what it does?
Right.
That's scary because that brings us away from the territory of skins are just for cosmetics to skins are actually changing the game, because we also saw this previously when some skin bundles actually created guns that were shorter than their original model so people wouldn't be seen. So
Hmm.
people were buying skins that would help them hide better because they could hold an angle closer and the skin wouldn't be seen. So
Hmm.
now, all guns, the first rule of non-competitive skin making is all the skins have to be the same. And this is something Riot has struggled with for a long time, especially in League of Legends. Some skins have actually caused, definitive changes into how a character is played. It reduces frame time on stuff. It changes, how many frames it takes for things to happen. It changes how the character looks. It makes it harder to click on. We're dealing with a really risky territory in my opinion, and this bundle isn't going to be cheap.
No, and my point to this is you can turn off like dead bodies and stuff like that in Valorant. So like how does that affect them? Like does like that circle that drops, does that get thrown? Or does like that's another thing, like what if that person wants to buy the skin at the same price as the person who has that feature turned on? So now I'm getting less content than that person because I don't have my bodies turned on. You know what I mean? Like there's also that kind of look at it too.
That's what I play. Many of my stream know. They've seen me play. You've probably seen over
Hmm.
my
Yeah.
shoulder. I turn dead bodies off. They're distracting to me. And it's harder to tell who's who. Now at a glance, I can see a red or a blue icon for the person's picture, and I can see where it is, and it's right there. But now, I'm worried that if the dead body's going flying, is the Sage going to have to look over here at at a spot where there's no dead body, and that's actually where the dead body is registered to be dropped, but on her screen. But on our screen, the actual dead body's over there. So now
Right. That's what I'm
you
curious
walk over to the
about.
dead body. Is it actually usable? And for people like me who don't look at the dead body, is the dead body just out of existence for me? Is it going to still drop that little nameplate right there? Or is it going to drop it over there, but the body actually gets rezzed here?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see when this season drops. Which did they announce a date yet for that?
It's this week. As soon as the last season
Yeah,
ends, the next one will begin,
yeah.
and
So
it's
that'll be
it's
this
not
weekend.
like we're not gonna see the new agent right away. We won't see the new guns right away. Most likely, we're gonna see them probably within the week after the new season starts. So,
Right.
if you're ready, Valorant 4.0 drops this week, and hopefully, it's not gonna make the community any more cancer. But we all know that's a lie.
No doubt. I'm excited to play some Valorant tonight,
Yeah, same.
to say the least.
So, without further ado, we'll wrap up this week. We're not going to have a deep freeze moment, but we are going to have a community announcement. So, and now, without further ado, the chill zone will beginning on the 23rd of January, I believe.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
the 23rd of January. We are going to begin doing co-op stream Sundays. So Victor and I will be performing, playing different games together, cooperatively, and inviting members of the community potentially to join us in those games. So be on the lookout. We'll announce the first game. For now, we're planning on hopefully finishing the Ascent
Mhm.
on the 23rd, since that's a game we've already started and the community has been watching us play already.
Right. And we're looking to play between like 12 and 3 roughly, just so we can have some time in between our gaming stream and our podcast stream, because of course we still have the Press Start podcast every Sunday at 7 p.m. live. But yeah, man, I'm really excited to get into this co-op stream and get through a lot of co-op games that we may have missed over the past couple years, like going back to relive the Borderlands series, playing Halo Infinite when that drops the co-op version. There's a bunch of co-op games that we're going to be able to dive into, and we would love to invite anybody part of our community to play with us. Because co-op games are usually 3, 4 players. There's only two of us. We got room for one more or two more, so we're definitely
Yeah,
excited for that.
and looping back around, we had mentioned earlier in the stream that some of the games that are going to come to the Game Pass, I believe the Anachronist is one of them. That is, it's a
Anacrusis,
Left
yes.
4 Dead clone,
Yep.
and we plan to play it. It's it's like Back for Blood, it's like Left 4 Dead. So hopefully it won't just be Vic and I playing, but
Right, and we
we'll
also
let you
got
know as we play them.
and we got Rainbow Six
Rainbow
Extraction
Six
coming.
Extraction, that too.
There's a bunch of co-op games, man. I'm super excited for sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, you got any last comments or remarks before we close out this week's
No, I
episode?
just want to thank everyone who came out tonight. It was wonderful to have you all communicate with us and, join in. So thank you very much.
For sure. Definitely want to thank everybody who checked us out live today and anybody who does check us out later on YouTube. Greatly appreciate all the love and support we've been getting. Live episodes every Sunday at 7 p.m. with our co op stream earlier in the day between 12 and 3, so be sure to check that out. But Roger, where can we find you at?
Many of you already know, but you can find me below at twitch.tv/lunatic_oblivion.
And of course, you can check me out at Twitter at MrNeverChillin underscore. Xbox is X Never Space Chillin. You want to party, game up, hit me up there. Facebook is Vic Brubacher. Questions, concerns, you want to come on the show, any of the shows, or even want to play these games with us, hit me up there. And of course, I'm streaming right now here on this channel. We're trying to grow to an affiliate. We're over halfway there, and we definitely appreciate all the support. But check us out in a little bit here. We're going to hop over to some Valorant, but we definitely want to thank everyone again. But until next time, peace.